Hey, yo, welcome to another episode of the Gin and Juice MMA podcast.
What's up?
It's your boy Jad here.
Right here.
And it's your
Mike.
boy Michael right here, as usual, bringing you the best from the UFC. All right, let's dig right into it.
Let's go into it, man.
We've had a crazy couple weeks in the UFC, and we missed you guys, so let's get right into it. We got Israel Adesanya that took on Gastelum, and he was the winner in what was a barn burner, a UFC classic, instantly in the minds of everyone, a 5-round war. What's your take, what's your walk away from Adesanya's performance heading into this next bout to unify the title in the middleweight division against Whittaker?
I think it was just an amazing performance. I mean, definitely one of the top 3 fights that I've ever seen in the UFC, no doubt about that. Just the fact that it was a 5-round fight was amazing, that it wasn't just a 3-round fight. I love that part because we would have never gotten to see the 4th and 5th round, which were amazing.
Yes.
Just when they both came out. For me, Gastelum is not really a loser in that fight. He just showed how tough he is, and I don't think he lost any fans. If anything, he won over a lot of fans. In my mind, he definitely won me over. And I think Adesanya proved that he's got that extra little bit that's required to maybe be a champion and fight with the best out there.
100%. And I mean, again, this was a war. That 5th round was a gut check time. It was 2-2 in the minds of pretty much everybody at that juncture. And Adesanya dug deep. Gastelum tried to dig deep as well, and it was just a war. But the last couple minutes, Israel pulled it out, and here we are, and he's going to be facing Whittaker. And stylistically, this is a crazy matchup. I mean, this is going to be very interesting. Whittaker was citing a lot of holes in Adesanya's game. He said that
Whittaker's a smart guy.
He's a very smart guy. He's going to look to exploit those. He said Gastelum was catching Israel. And,
he was, no doubt about that.
And that's facts. And if Whittaker starts catching Israel, those might go from a swollen lip to lights are off.
I mean, we're talking about a guy that survived and won 2 fights against Romero.
That's it. A draw and then a win.
mean, disputable how much he actually did win the 2nd fight and all that stuff.
Right.
But he definitely hung in there, and it was a very close fight both times. And he's just a beast on another level.
Exactly. And I think Whittaker's versus Adesanya is going to be very interesting. Some of the words that Whittaker was saying himself actually about Gastelum, his opponent that was prior to his hernia that he suffered the day of the fight, the morning of the fight. He was saying that Gastelum was a more difficult fight for him in his mind than Adesanya is. This is a better stylistic matchup for him.
Fair enough.
So we'll see what happens there. Israel versus Whittaker is crazy because this is the thing is we've seen so much of Israel over the course of 14 months. We've seen 5 fights.
Yeah.
And we've seen 2 fights in the last 3 years from Whittaker, even though we know he's one of the best.
That's a good point.
So we don't know what we're going to see from Whittaker. That could be to his advantage.
Yeah.
That could be to his detriment.
My opinion is that it will probably not really affect him in terms of performance. Just I don't think he has ring rust or anything like that. I think that he probably, as long as he can stay healthy and recover from everything that's going on, I think we can still get a really good version of Robert Whittaker.
100%. And it's crazy how these things pan out in the division in general. I love where the middleweight division is going. I really love watching someone like Israel Adesanya come in and the charisma, and you got this poster child, and on the other hand you have Whittaker, who's a little bit more subdued, and Dana White has to drag out to press conferences.
Yes.
So
there
definitely is the corporate guy versus the guy who corporate wants to win. With the little wink of the eye. They're not going to come out and say it. And I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not saying it's unjust. If there's some guy who's going to make you more money, then you kind of want him to win. But you're not going to obviously get into the point of fixing. That's not how this works.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's going to be very interesting to see how that pans out, man. Because Whittaker, again, if you look at the trajectory of his career, it's interesting because you look at John Jones, how he was robbed of some of his prime because of different reasons. Like, he had transgressions outside of the ring and allegations of doping and stupid stuff, even though contaminated supplements were past that. But Whittaker, his body's failing him. Very interesting to see how we can get robbed of the prime of different people through such wildly different kind of situations and circumstances. And I can't wait to see what Whittaker does. Honestly, this is going to be an awesome rivalry, too, if you think about it.
Absolutely.
Because it's New Zealand versus Australia. even though Adesanya's
Nigerian.
outlined, he's outlined that Whittaker actually is originally from New
Yeah,
Zealand. He's a Maori.
Yeah,
But
but
then
he's
he-
born in Australia.
Right.
Right. Okay.
And he identifies with Australia. So this is going to be a little bit of a
Yeah, a little bit of that
fighting
going on
on
too.
following on those rugby
For
lines
sure.
of war.
And from what I heard, it's gonna be in Australia and not in New Zealand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking it's gonna be a great night.
Really powerful opportunity for Australasia to get put on the map in that sense.
Absolutely.
And oceanic fighting, that's going to be awesome. But the thing is also for the world in the global sense. And you very rarely get those type of opportunities where it's regional, but it's also global.
Oh yeah.
Very interesting.
Oh yeah.
But we're excited for that fight nonetheless.
For sure, guys.